Hey lovers. Okay, so by popular demand, I will be sharing my thoughts on the video that I recently reposted. Ayanla Van Zant, she was talking about how she recently ended a 14-year relationship. And some people were in my DMs, not just one, so don't think I'm talking about you. But there were a couple of people in my DMs who were like, 14 years is crazy. Like, why would you stay someone for 14 years and you knew y'all relationship was basically trash? So I'm going to share my thoughts on that. And yeah, you guys let me know how you feel as well. So I will start off by saying sometimes people stay together because, well, there's a lot of reasons why people stay together, right? And I'm going to share a few of those. But for one reason, or one thing I will say is I don't think the whole 14 years was trash. I feel like it was probably more recently that things kind of that things kind of made a little shake, a little twist, a little downslide. And sometimes people are hopeful that things will get back on track. So I'm going to just say that that's probably why, because Ayanla or anyone else may feel, okay, things are down now. And let's be real, a lot of times when people are together for a while, things are not always going to be good. Now, if this is the first year of your relationship and it's been going downhill the whole time, go ahead and let it go. Okay? Like, I feel like it's too early for things to be so bumpy, shaky, downy. Okay? That's too early. Y'all still supposed to be in y'all honeymoon or cloud nine phase. Nobody should be having issues that early. Of course, there can be disagreements here and there, but not that much. Not to the point where you feel like you're in a relationship that you're not getting the love you deserve, which is what she expressed. So, reason number one is sometimes people have a fear of starting over. That's starting over in a relationship, a career. Sometimes people find just across the board. A lot of times, people, when you buy a new car, you're like, oh shit, what's this down, or not the down payment, what's the monthly thing gonna be? Whew, moving. Uh-oh, what's the neighbors gonna be like over here? Like, you just don't know. So sometimes people stay where they are because they have a fear of starting over. Now, and they always say like the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and I agree with that. So a lot of times people just feel hesitant because they're comfortable where they already are, so it is scary starting over. Another reason is sometimes people are scared of being alone and they feel like, well, what if I don't meet anyone new? Now, I think you should not be in a rush to meet anyone new anyway, but it does feel great to know you have a partner. And so to know that you're going from having a partner to having kind of no one, or just, your friends, even though your friends, like, they may be in relationships. Like, a lot of times people just don't want to be alone. So it's like, well, where am I going? I have an event coming up, y'all, about the dating pool. So being alone and thinking about jumping back into the dating pool, also scary because there's a lot of trash activity going on. So that is another reason. Well, two reasons: fear of not meeting someone new and fear of being alone. Reason number four: sometimes people are just really comfortable where they are, and even that could make them feel like they don't deserve more. Like she said, she realized she wasn't getting the love she deserved, but I don't think she knew that throughout the last 5 years. Like, it may have been more recent. And so a lot of times we want to make sure we know, like, okay, is it really over for real? Like, exhaust all options. Like, let me make sure I'm doing my part so no one can say I didn't do my part, which it shouldn't even matter what anyone else says, but this is just like your own thing that you have to deal with. You have to get your own closure and yada yada shish boom bada. Okay. The next reason, I don't think this is the case involving Ayanla, but sometimes people have kids, and when you have kids, you also have the fear of like, well, what if some people break up and then one of the parents is MIA. Like, and this is true tea, okay? So you're like, well, if I stay with the person, at least I know the mom or the dad, whoever is not the primary parent, at least I know that that person will still be present. And that is not a good reason to stay together, but it is a reason that does happen more often than not. Or even if the other parent is still present, but then you get with someone else, you're like, well, I don't think this person's going to love my kids the way their parent loves them. And there are some really good step parents out there who do step up to the plate for your kid. But a lot of times people will consider their kids as a reason why they should stay. And that, again, happens more common or often than not. Last but not least, which I'm sure there are several more reasons, but the last but not least reason that I'm going to give today is, especially if you live in an expensive city like LA, New York, wherever is expensive. I feel like the whole United States is probably expensive at this point. But the cost of living, like, people don't want to end up paying for everything for themselves, like where to live, food, everything, like whether you have kids or not. This is just like, at this point, people will stay together and be roommates. So, because they don't want to pay for stuff they're on their own. And they know, like, okay, well, I know how this person lives. I know they're going to show up and pay the bills. Like, this is really a real thing. So, those are my thoughts. Should she have stayed with her partner for as long as she did? I think that is everyone's personal discrepancy. Sometimes I'll be using words and I'll be like, oh, I hope that's the right word to go in there. But we see each other, okay? So, yeah, I'm not going to say she shouldn't have. I'm not going to say she should have. I feel like when it was time for her to go, that is when she did what needed to be done. She stood on business. So shout out to anyone who is standing on business and making tough decisions, okay? Because it's really not easy. Again, once you have so many years invested, it's just like all those things come into play. And so, yeah. Again, I do have an event virtual. It's free. It's a 30-minute virtual event, and we will be talking about the do's and don'ts of dating. Summer is coming, okay? So, in case y'all do decide to leave a 14-year relationship, again, I will say I think it's important to spend time with yourself. But if you feel you are ready for dating, hit me up, send me an email, send me a DM, Matched by Mecky or matchedbymecky@gmail.com, and we will get you registered for this event June 14th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Let me know y'all thoughts though. What other reasons would people stay with someone for as long when they feel like they are not getting the love they deserve? All right, y'all.